What's going on, guys? My name is Curtis and welcome back to another episode of EziTorque from the Easy Way Car Club. I'm joined today by my friend James, as always. How you going, James?
Good, how are you going?
Pretty good, thank you. Trying my best because, as you'll notice, our good friend Nick is missing today, unfortunately. So we're going to do our best to get ourselves through this episode without missing Nick too much. And we'll see how we go, won't we?
Yeah, should be interesting.
Should be interesting. He'll let us know if we've done a poor job. So we'll be sure to look out for that. So what are we talking about today? Well, a couple of weeks ago, we got a question from a viewer, which was, what is your favorite kind of car? Now, I'm sure that we've talked about this to death. And if you've never watched any of our videos, James, your favorite kind of car is?
Definitely a 79 Series Land Cruiser. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. James is definitely our four-wheel drive guy, and don't talk to me about them. Maybe Nick will listen.
Yeah, I've tried to get him in one, but it's just multiple failed attempts every time.
Well, you never say never. But my car of choice, or I tend to lean towards the smaller turbo cars. I guess they get called hot hatches. And so yeah, that is our favorite kinds of car. But what that question made us think about was maybe a little bit of a chance to ask each other a few quick fire questions so that we can share with you some of our thoughts about some car topics. You can get to know us better, and then of course, you can leave your thoughts in the comments below. So before we get started, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the Easy Way Car Club channel. The more of you that are watching, then the happier we are to keep creating these videos and hopefully having some fun along the way. All right, you ready, James?
Yeah, let's do it.
Quick fire. All right, question one. What car are you driving now?
Driving a 2019 Mazda BT50.
What was your first car?
A Mitsubishi Triton.
What is your favorite car that you've ever driven?
Has to be a Gen F manual Holden Maloo, HSV Maloo. It was actually the car I learned how to drive manually, believe it or not.
Oh, so basically no one wants to buy that because the clutch is
ruptured. I thought it was a smell of petrol, but it was just clutch. The clutch had burnt to shit. But as all good woke parents do, they just throw their child in the deep end and just throw 400 kilowatts in a manual clutch at the kid that's never driven a manual before, and say figure it out.
Pick it up somehow. Well, they probably learnt on tractors, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, out in the bush somewhere, they would have figured it out. But yeah, that was my favourite car I've ever driven. What's before you ask me any more, we'll go back to you. What are you driving at the moment? That I feel like everyone knows, but what are you driving?
Yeah, so I am driving a Ford Focus RS. Not that it really matters, but the limited edition 2018 model.
Well, it sort of does matter because they're not making them anymore. So you never.
No, that's true. That's true. Hopefully, something might happen, but nothing at the moment.
Yeah. What was your first car?
I love this one. A Holden AH Astra from, I think it was 2006.
Yeah.
And it was a nice little black car with some. It had some rims on it, and it had a little fart cannon out the back. That
was a weapon, I think. That got us to many a soccer match.
We did some DIY on it as well, didn't we?
Jeepers. Some regretful things, some fun things, but jeepers, I wouldn't do it on my car right now. I'm sure you wouldn't either. Right. What was the last few? Oh, what's your favorite car you've ever driven?
Ooh, tough one. I think I would say the Ford XR8 Sprint. Yeah. I've driven it a few times, and it's got this knack of surprising me every time because I find it quite subtle to look at on the outside, and especially on the inside. The interior of those cars is not, not
it's no German car at all.
Yeah, and it's probably not as good as the SS either. So you take that into account, but then you drive it. Oh, I've lost that back end a couple of times actually. All right, next questions. So, if money wasn't an issue, what would be your dream car?
Look, weird. I'm not massive on hypercars that much. But if anything, I saw once at Zagami Motors, they had I think it might have been a Pagani, but the entire thing was made of carbon fiber, and it's just weird. Like, it just doesn't look like a normal car. So I think like that'd be cool to have, or something like that, or a Koenigsegg. Honestly, I wouldn't even know right now what the fastest car in the world is. I wouldn't drive a Veyron. I think they look like rubbish, but I would drive a McLaren or a Koenigsegg or Gera. But what would you drive?
Oh, well, I've always liked, and I'm probably bending the rules on this question because it's not obviously a brand new car, but the Murcielago. I think what was is it called SV? I think the model.
Yeah,
they are something special. I've always loved the look of them.
Yeah, and they came in manual, like they weren't auto. That's one thing I don't like about the current sort of supercars at the moment, or even there's not even many fast cars. Like all your Audis are auto. Like, you go to a Lamborghini, they're all auto, everything's auto. And I feel like that Murcielago it'd be like, it'd be driving a bull, like a literal bull.
Yeah. So I'll bend the rule on that one, and that's what I'll say. So let's just get our head out of the clouds. Now let's be realistic. So maybe let's not call it our dream car, but what car would you like to see yourself in somewhere down the track?
One of my favorite cars that I could see myself hopefully one day working towards, and it's not cheap, but I'd put my head down to it. Have you ever watched Gone in 60 Seconds?
Can't say I have.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, we've just lost all viewership for that. You got to watch it. But in it, it's actually got Nicolas Cage in it. It's pretty wicked. They've got the Eleanor, the Shelby GT 500.
Oh, okay.
And it's just, I think maybe because I watched it with my old man when I was younger, and it just left an imprint on my head. But it's just a wicked car, and I know of someone that just got one, and I think there's only 2 or 3 in Australia. So hopefully when he gets hands on it with all this COVID crap going on, I get to go for a little spin in the passenger seat. I think that car is just, it's wicked. And I'm not big on American cars, like at all. I've never been a fan. What would you?
I'm a big fan of C63 and E63 Mercedes. Big fan of them. Is that realistic? Questionable.
Yeah.
But let's say those two. Say those two.
Well, seeing as I bent the rules, if it had to be a modern car that's coming out, it'd be a one of the new Dodge Rams. Like it's so sick. But I wouldn't use it as a 4-wheel drive. I'd just put big 20-inch rims on it and just burn through gallons of fuel. Just so they sound sick, and they're just monsters. So
clearly you've learned nothing from our last episode on environmental friendliness.
No, and I will just continue to be. Sorry.
So I think we'll leave it there for our questions. Thank you to our viewer that submitted the original one that got us going down this path, and hopefully everyone's enjoyed learning a little bit about us through these questions. If you want to answer them as well, pop your answers in the comments below. So, you know, what you're driving now, what your first car was, your favorite car you've driven, favorite movie relating cars, dream cars, whatever it is, leave us a comment down below. And this week, as you can see from my background here, is Bathurst week. Depending on the day this goes out, it might actually, the race weekend might have already started, but it is an exciting time for people that are into the V8s and into the supercar racing, as we know you are, James.
Yeah, definitely. From when I was probably 3 or 4, we've watched Bathurst every year, and we like to get the car out, clean it up, and take photos while the race is on. So if you do something like that, just make sure, take a photo, post on Instagram or something, and tag us in it. We'd be happy to repost it, because you know it's a pretty wicked weekend of the year, and we'd love to see what you guys are driving and what your pride of joy is, because it's good to see what everyone's favorite cars is and stuff like that. So yeah, go ahead and do that if you like. I think that's it from us.
Definitely. No, great idea, that one, James, because, you know, we're building a little car club community here, and we want to hear from you and yeah, see what your car interests are, and hopefully we can incorporate all of that into our next few videos. There is much more to come. We have had a couple of weeks just to break and regroup, but we've got a couple more car reviews coming up, namely the Mercedes-Benz A35 and the Mazda CX-3. So watch out for a couple of reviews there. And yeah, make sure you're following us on Instagram and YouTube. And that is that, I'd say. James, thanks for joining us. Nick, we miss you. And hopefully you come back soon. And if you miss Nick, let him know in the comments. But if you don't miss Nick, let him know. Let him know.
You don't need to blow his ego up. Don't do it. All right. Thanks, guys.
No worries. See you later.
Yeah.